Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now as we approach the end of the month, I figured, what the heck, let's do a little market refresher for those of you that are watching these videos to try to understand what's going on in specific price points and locations. We are in the midst of a very slow month, and I think when the TREB numbers are released, probably a little bit into next week, and sign up for my newsletter if you're curious to know my thoughts on that. I don't usually plug myself, but I do enjoy that newsletter. I think that the month of June is going to show a massive decrease in sales. Now, I don't think that the price is going to be affected as much as people might believe. Again, remember that the media always picks the one number that looks the worst. So one month, if the average sale price is down, they'll say prices are down this much. And if the next month I don't know, let's say, I think they did the mid-month TREB numbers down 20% for sales, then they'll say the market is down 20%. So you always have to take things with a grain of salt. But personally, I think, and this is from my own experience both with buyers and with sellers, the month of June was very slow. And there were a lot of people, I think, that already bought in January, February, March, which is usually sleepier months than April, May, June. And this year we kind of turned the spring and summer markets on its head. So with that in mind, I want to look today at an area that I really love, and that is the Kingsway. Now I know I've done this area a couple times, but I figured we'd go back into this area and look at houses. Obviously the lead in there is by design. Look at houses that for whatever reason are either sitting on the market or have no offer date, or are houses that I think might have sold for more money earlier in the spring. And that's kind of a function of where we are in this June market as we're getting into the summer, and those are typically slow months, right, for freehold houses. The condo market, not nearly as cyclical, but the housing market is. You basically have till the end of June, and then things really die down as families go on vacation and people start to think, you know what, I'd rather take the summer off and enjoy it with my family than have to stage our house and move out and try to sell it. So with that in mind, guys, let me do this. I'm first going to kind of zoom in here, take a look at our Google map. The Kingsway, thank you, very well labeled by our friends at Google. And so when we zoom in here, we take a look at basically what looks like the state of Idaho. Yeah, that basically looks like the state of Idaho. Doesn't it? Doesn't it seem similar, the state of Idaho? Okay, now let's draw a little map around here. Okay, Royal York, Bloor, the Kingsway, and Dundas. Now, of course, if you're familiar with this area, you know that that is not, of course, the Kingsway. Get rid of that map, and let's do the following. Let's draw a map here. So we're going to go along the train track, down Montgomery, across Bloor, and around the Humber River here. I really hope that worked. That is the Kingsway. We're also going to look in this little pocket here where there's one house, and see where it says Lambden Mills. I want you to ignore that, because that is not Lambden Mills. That is the Kingsway. This is not two different areas. So Google, thank you very much for your input, but we're going to ignore it. Now, if you zoom in here, guys, you can see here's Lambden Kingsway Park, and please keep zooming in. There it is. Lambden Kingsway Junior Middle School is all the way up at Government. So I'm going to zoom out again, making you dizzy and wanting to throw up, and you'll see the Kingsway labeled here by Google. This is where the school is. So Google's wrong. Point being, Lambden Kingsway, fantastic school. Let me go here. Okay, stay with me here. There it is. Lambden Kingsway ranks 83rd out of 2,900 schools and an 8.7 out of 10. Now the alternative, if you don't get into there, is Islington, which is 985th out of 2,900, or 6.8. And the only reason we have to worry about that is because one of the houses we're going to look at is over here in this pocket. Okay? Another thing I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to compare a couple houses today to another area in the city, which is Leaside. Now, I think if you were to look at Kingsway and Leaside, the people in Kingsway are going to say, hold on, we are way better than Leaside. We're more like Rosedale or Forest Hill. And I might agree. If you zoom in here, guys, and look at a street like King George, some of the nicest houses I've ever seen in the city of Toronto on magnificent 50-foot lots are situated on King George. 50-foot lots in Leaside, you don't really get that. Where do you get that? Maybe like a Moore Park. Maybe as you get into Forest Hill and Rosedale, absolutely. But some of the smaller houses, or some of the older houses up in this pocket here, yes, you might compare that to Leaside, and so that's going to be my basis of comparison. One last point, guys, we're incredibly close to Bloor, which is where the retail infrastructure is, and of course where the subway is. And you know how I always add retail infrastructure in along with schools and access to transit and parks. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look here at 3 houses, first and foremost, that I think are representative of what most people think about Kingsway. So here we have 82 Willingdon. It's 3.7 million. It's a new build. They've done that ugly kind of stone on the front of the big red brick salt box. 43 by 125, 3.7 million. Now we've got a magnificent property on King George, 3.8 million. Look at this. Look at the photo of this. I love that look. What is that? English cottage kind of style. 50 foot, I'm rounding up, by 130. And then we have this. This is on Kingsway. This is an original home, 70 by 300. You read that right. That's a 70 by 300 foot lot, 4.7 million. 5 bed, 5 bath. Now, of course, this is not a brand new house. This is, let's go inside, right? This is a renovated, traditional, charming, character-filled home. Now, the reason I'm showing you these listings up to 4.7 million is because the listings we're looking at today started at $1,799,000. Right, like I said, I think there's value, and I think there's deals here. So we're going to start here with 12 Wendover Road. You can tell from the photo here, guys, this is a brand new house. This is a 30 by 125 foot lot. It's listed at $1,799,000. So first and foremost, if you think you can't get into prime Kingsway in a new build for $1,800,000, obviously now I've taught you that you can. It's only a 3-bedroom house, and I say that, of course, because most houses we're looking at of the new build variety, whether it's in Leaside, whether it's in Kingsway, or whether it's in any other area of the city where you've got a 30-foot lot, you're getting that 4th bedroom. So I ask you this, are you going to have 3 kids? If you are, this house doesn't work. If you're not, if you have no kids, if your plan is to have 2 kids or 1 kid, you don't need the 4th bedroom. For $1,799,000, brand new house, and we'll take a look at the inside here. It's beautiful. Now, it's a little bit narrow at 30 feet than you might expect compared to some of these 36s, 45s that we've been looking at. But the, let me go back here, guys, sorry. Some of the character here, see the vaulted ceiling? I love that. It takes a little bit of space maybe out of the 2nd floor, but this is not a cookie cutter home. This is a beautiful build. Love the features, love the finishes, the crown molding, the railings. I always say I like that wrought iron and wood. I don't like the open staircase. I don't know, I just picture like my kid or my dog falling through there. Okay, so I want to skip through this one pretty quickly. There's the basement and laundry. They're too cheap to put in machines. I hate when builders do that. And there you go, access to outside. Perfect. I want to skip through this because I want to show you first the map. So here we are in the Kingsway. Steps to the subway, steps to prime infrastructure. The problem with this one, guys, is that we're right next to the retail, right, which is a little too close. So let me drag the man here. God, that's like fascinating Google Maps. And let me show you the house. So when Google Maps took this photo, obviously, it was under construction. That's the house we're looking at, and here is our retail infrastructure. So let me ask you this. If you were, keep following me here, guys. Let's say if you were, I don't know, what are we now, 6 houses down? Oh, there's one that's sold. So let's say you were this house or this house or this house here. Would that make the difference for you? I'll buy this house. It's steps to the retail, but I won't buy this house because it's literally adjacent to the retail. Or do you care at all? Me personally, I see this at $1,799,000. It's a joke. It's phenomenal value. Who cares that you're next to a parking lot? Friends come over, hey, plenty of parking right next door. I never pay for green pea. The people don't monitor those parking lots. Although the app is awesome, I gotta say. Anyways, so keep going here, guys, and you can see that's Bloor. Is that a Gabby's? I didn't know there was one there. No, I used to go to the one on King Street. 2007. 2005, 6, 7? Yeah. Used to go like every Thursday night with the boys. Now we're all married with kids. We never see each other. Anyways, so let me go back. So $1,799,000, as I said, I think it's phenomenal value. There you go, backyard. There's got to be a reason, and it happens to be, number 1, it's right next to the parking lot, and number 2, it only has 3 bedrooms. So how would this compare to, say, something in Leaside? 30 by 125 foot lot. Here we have in Leaside 25 by 125. Now we do have a 4th bedroom, okay, but this is $2.4 million. So this is on Glenvale. This is in Leaside. This is a side yard, okay, that's a major street there, but it's not, you know, siding onto a parking lot. So $2.4 million. You've got a new build, 25 by 125, or 30 by 125, 1.799. So what have we got here? Sorry, what was this again? Okay, so $600,000 difference for this being actually a bigger house, just having 1 less bedroom. So that's a point I wanted to make. I think there's value in that. Okay, let's move along here, guys, to 51 Princeton. So first of all, just the name Princeton, awesome, right? Princeton, Harvard, Yale, Cornell. So this house is not a brand new house, 39, so call this 40 by 120. It is the 4-bed, plus 1, 4-bath, $1,895, and these are all offers at any time, guys. Okay, markets change. This is not 1,895 selling for 2.3. So inside, it's updated, right? Oh, I said it's updated when we got to old person furniture. It's updated, right? It doesn't have the best furniture. It doesn't show the way that you would want to show any brand new house, or any house for that matter, to be perfectly honest, right? Paint out this red, neutral colors, maybe stage it with some more modern stuff. You can update the kitchen, but the size is great here. The footprint is fantastic. Full 4-bed, 4-bath, tons of space upstairs. That's a master bedroom. Ooh, that's a tough bathroom to get around. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a little older here when we see the double beds. She got the Jimmy legs. Remember the Seinfeld episode? Estelle and I came to an agreement. She got the Jimmy legs. Let's see if I can get that clip up for you.
You got 2 beds in here.
That's right. That's me on the left.
So you sleep in separate beds?
30 years ago, we came to an agreement. It was the only way I could get some rest.
Really?
Estelle's got the Jimmy arms.
You can get that in your arms?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, so we got the basement, got a little library action happening. So you get a sense of this, guys. This thing is updated, but it's not brand new. And by updated, I mean it's updated mechanically. It's got forced air, it's got gas, it's got AC, all new wiring, plumbing, pot lights, etc. It's just the decor that you need to tackle. So 51 Priceton is, I'm going to zoom out here, is a little bit further north. Okay, so that's factoring into the price a little bit here because, again, consider that we have almost a 40-foot lot, but it's a little far north, and it's on the other side of Royal York. So personally, I don't really distinguish between west of Royal York. There's no difference here. If you get west of the train here, then yes, you do, because you're into a different school district. Here is Islington. So all the houses I'm showing you, unless I mention to the contrary, because there's one we're going to look at in Old Oak, all these houses are in Lambton Kingsway Junior Middle School. So you would be hard-pressed to find anywhere else a 40 by 120 4-bed, 4-bath for only $1,895,000. And I want to show you here, this is a 36 by 120. Now this is a brand new house in Leaside. So you're going to say that's an insane comparison, David. That's ridiculous. But this is $2.9 million for 36 by 120 in Leaside, brand new. And here you've got a larger lot, 39 by 120, for about $1 million less. $1 million. Big difference, right? And you're going to say, well, 2 very different properties. But this is what I'm getting at, is that there actually seems to be some pretty decent value here right now. Okay. Let me go to the next one here. So 38 Old Oak. Now this one, of course, this one is, here we go, guys, just south of Dundas, but it's on the other side of the boundary for the school district. So this falls into Islington School District, which, again, is not a bad thing. It's just not in Lambton Junior, what is it, Lambton Kingsway Junior Middle School. LKMJ, yeah, it's a big acronym. Okay. So here we have an incredible 60, I keep rounding up, an incredible 60 by 200 foot lot. So again, $1,995,000 for a 60 by 200 foot lot. Guys, what are we missing here? Now, is this a 70-year-old house? Is this old person decor? I keep saying that. I'm going to get in big trouble. No, it doesn't show exceptionally well, but if you scroll down here, 5-year-old custom built home. 5-year-old custom built home, and it's $1,995,000 on a 60 by 200. That's insane value. They could have decorated it nicer. They could have staged it a bit better. They could have picked slightly less orangish cabinets. But for $1,995,000, you could come in here and do a $200,000 reno and completely transform this. Or you could come in here, spend maybe 15 grand on paint, and I think you'd accomplish, well, enough to get by. So 5 years old, guys, massive floor footprint, massive, I was going to say floor plan, it's a footprint. Again, doesn't really show exceptionally well. Now, it's only a 3-bedroom. See this? Only a 3-bedroom. But again, I ask you, do you need that 4th bedroom? You've got one in the basement for the nanny or for the in-laws. And might I remind you, it's on a 60 by 200 foot piece of land. It's insane value. It's absolutely incredible. And I don't have anything to compare to. Oh, wow, that's the closet. Cool. I don't have anything to compare to in Leaside or any other areas because it's very difficult to find a 60 by 200. Okay, so that looks like a bar in the basement. Okay, maybe the teenager's living down there. Anyways, you get a sense of the lot here. That's a 200-foot backyard. That's what it looks like. Wow, absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal value. So let me go back to the map here. I'm going to zoom in. So this, guys, this does back onto Dundas. So we've got our massive 200-foot lot here. Now these are houses on Dundas. This is not commercial. This is not I'm backing onto a pizza. But again, just a little something to keep in mind, because all these houses we're looking at have a little something, I don't want to say off about them, but this one backs onto Dundas. This one happens to be in Islington instead of Lambton, Kingsway Junior Middle School District. The Wendover one down here. I'm losing you here, guys. Oh yeah, Wendover's this street here. The Wendover one is right next to the retail. So they've all got a little something about them. But again, everyone has a budget in this market. I personally think you should look for things like this. Look for the 3-bedroom instead of 4. What if that saved you $400,000? And you're like, okay, well the 4th bedroom's usually too small to put anything in anyways. It would literally be a single bed, a room that we would never use. So look for opportunities, and I think that's what a lot of these listings are showing. Okay, so now we'll go back to a prime street and back to a very charming cottage style, which is synonymous with the Kingsway district. That's a very typical look to a Kingsway house. So on Lynngrove, and we're going to check out the map here. That's a prime street. These are going east-west. Belvedere, I've got a client on there. White Oak. White Oak's one of my favorite streets. I don't know, I just love driving around this area. So again, you're in Lambton Kingsway Junior Middle School District. God, that's a tongue twister. And the house itself, you've got your 4 beds now. Okay, 40 by 124 foot lot, main floor family room extension, and big, let me go back. Big character house here. So this is radiant heat, center hall plan, as you can see. Radiant heat, so you get things like, see the rads, right? But you've got all the leaded windows. This is the definition of a character house. Use the word character, use the word charming. But again, all updated. You've got your pot lights in here. I'm not saying pot lights are the greatest thing in the world. I'm just saying it shows you that you have a smooth ceiling instead of that 50s swirl or the popcorn style. It means they've redone the wiring. It's a sound house mechanically. It's totally updated. But you've got a lot of original character and charm. Maybe if you wanted to update the kitchen island or the color. You've got gas range though, and a lot of space. Main floor family room. Jeez, it's a big footprint. It really is. So 4 bedrooms upstairs. Big old master. There's my inner Bob Ross. Big old, use that word. And the bedroom sizes are pretty good. A lot of people see these rads and they think old. You know what? There's a lot of new developments that are putting in rads. They're making a huge comeback. They're very slim and a lot of them are covered. I don't know, where did I read somewhere like, radiant heat's better for babies. There's no particles floating through the air. God, what's not better for babies? Why don't we just not vaccinate our kids? Topic for another day. Okay, basement. The only thing really lacking in original house, because they don't have the deep dugout feel, 9-foot ceilings in a new build. And then I never really like the ceilings. You don't really know what to do with it. But because they have radiant heat in here, it means they don't have ducts running back and forth. So maybe you could just smooth this thing out a little bit if you wanted to. So there's your extra bedroom. That's a 5th bedroom, and you've got a bathroom downstairs with a shower, and boom, pool in the backyard. Cool. Okay, so $2,250,000 for 40 by 124. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal value. Let me move on here. Okay, so now we've got, last but certainly not least, we've got 1026 Royal York. 1026 Royal York, where are we? Well, we're on a very busy street. And let's say that in the Kingsway, you've got Prince Edward, which is very busy. You've got Royal York, which is very busy. And then the Kingsway itself. I've got a client up here on Kingsway. Phenomenal house. And while it is busy, it's interesting because the boulevard, the setback, is so massive that it's not like you're, right up on Kingsway. I think these guys have like 60 feet from their front door to the sidewalk. So does it really matter how busy that street is? I mean, your kids aren't playing on the street on Royal York. Maybe that's the difference between if they were over here on Tremaine. But again, factored into the price. Take this $2.4 million, put it around the corner, maybe it's $2.9 million. Look for the opportunities, and that seems to be a running theme in today's Pick 5. So here we have a brand new, fully finished, 4,000 square foot, 49 by 120 for $2.4 million. So round that up and call that 50. Brand new, and you can say you do or don't like the finishes. Does that have, I hate that open staircase. I really do. I'm not a fan of that. But again, guys, phenomenal value here at $2.4 million. And if you're looking to buy a $400,000 condo, I know you're like, oh, great, I don't care. This doesn't apply to me. But again, we're trying to look at the overall market and Pick 5 every week. And this, for what it is in the city of Toronto, unbelievable value. Because you can actually go, let me just go off on a total tangent here. Let me go out to Eatonville, which is an area here that I've featured a few times in Pick 5s. There are houses that are on similar lots that are new builds that are $2.7, $2.8 million. Maybe they're on 60 footers, right? Maybe they're on 50 footers and they're somewhere around the same price point. But I just think this being in prime Kingsway, right? Being closer to the city, being Stone Sort of Transit, having a better feeder school, public school, which the people in the area rave about. I just think this is unbelievable value at $2.4 million. So again, maybe you like the finishes or maybe you don't. I love these coffered ceilings. My wife calls them coffeed ceilings, which I think is very cute. Nice big skylight. I like that. I like when you walk upstairs and you have a landing, right? That's where my brother and I used to play with G.I. Joe when we were kids. They're up on the landing. Yeah, we had like a little nook. We had like this little nook. Maybe it was like where an old linen closet went, and that's where we'd push all our toys up. And then if we forgot, oh my God, I remember one time, huge tangent here, middle of the night, my dad, God love him, lawyer in the 1980s, you know, wearing like a really tight-fitting suit and driving a Cadillac or something, literally fell down the stairs. We left Castle Grayskull, remember Castle Grayskull? And I think the other one was Snake Mountain. Those were He-Man. We left those out in the middle of the hallway. My dad was coming home after a long night and just tripped right over it and just did a header right into the stairs. The next morning my mom said, could you, when you guys, maybe put your toys away? Yeah, true story. Okay, so back to the listing, of course. Sorry, I love those tangents. Anyways, my mom loves them. What can I say? So back to the listing here, guys. There's not much more I can say about this other than look at the size of this master bedroom. It's unbelievable. The craftsmanship, the workmanship, I think those mean the same thing. Great, except I don't love that brick there. Huge master ensuite. Then we get into the little bedrooms. They all have their own bathroom. What's with kids today? They all have their own bathroom. I didn't have that growing up. There's your basement. They've already put in the bar. Wow, this is a house I could totally live in. All the wall space for my hockey jerseys, that would be awesome. Backyard's a little tight. My guess is they went to committee of adjustment here and got permission to go way, way further back to build. But I also think that because the setback is so far on the front, you know, again, double-edged sword, right? You're not right up against Royal York, but your property doesn't give you that much in the backyard because you're using up in the front. And there you go. I love that red brick at the back. How does it look in the front? Oh, why didn't they take that to pretend that's the front of the house versus that front of the house? I know you like that more. I'm a huge red brick fan. I don't like this. That reminds me of the one that we saw, where was it? This one, same thing. Ugh, I don't know why they did that. So that's it. Wow. I can't believe we finished so quickly. And I only went on a couple of tangents today. Anyways, guys, the takeaway from this is simple. You have to look for opportunities. If you don't need 4 bedrooms, go with a 3-bedroom. It could save you $400,000. If you want to be close to retail, but you don't want to be too close, what if you could save $300,000 to be the first house in from the parking lot? You've got to look for these opportunities. And I think today what we saw with all of these houses, none of them holding back offers, is that they all have something a little bit off about them. Right? What if you took a 59 by 200 foot lot and you said, okay, my kids will go to Islington instead of Lambton? Does it really matter? Because I think if you took that and put it in Kingsway, junior middle school, Lambton Kingsway, Jesus Christ, it's a long name, you're paying a hell of a lot more for it. So the other takeaway, of course, as I said in the introduction, is that things are a bit sluggish right now. A lot of people have put their searches on hold. The foreign buyers, they're just doing what they did in Vancouver. They're like, oh, okay, great, Ontario Fair Housing Plan. Yeah, I think I'll just wait. I think I'll wait until September when my lawyers and my family have figured out how to get around the tax, and then I'll go back in. So things are sluggish, as evidenced by the fact that a primary like Kingsway, all 5 of these houses have offers anytime. Wow, market's really changed. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Is this a long weekend? Yes, it is. Have a fantastic long weekend. Celebrate Canada's 150th, and have a great long weekend. Bye for now.